Daf Yomi, Tractate Menachot, 79b. Top of the page, the words Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon, Savar Lach, Kivasei Davuha, Di Amar Kol HaOimed Izroi Kizor Dami. And Rabbi Elazar, the son of Rabbi Shimon, holds it according to the opinion of his father in this matter. As Rabbi Shimon said, any blood of an offering that stands fit to be sprinkled upon the altar is considered as if it were already sprinkled. Accordingly, although the blood was spilled after it was collected in the cup and was not actually sprinkled, it nevertheless it considered as if it were sprinkled. Amar Mar, Im yesh zevach achar yikru v'imoy yikru b'ha amar Rabbi Chizda shemen shefiru l'shum mincha zo pasol l'shum mincha acheres. Amar Rabbi Anai lev beis din masna alehem im hu tzrechu im lav yehu zevach achar. The master said in the Mishnah, if there is another offering that was slaughtered and requires libations should be sacrificed with that offering. The Gemara asks, but didn't Rav Chizda say that oil that one separated for the sake of this one meal offering is unfit to be brought for the sake of another meal offering? Likewise, shouldn't libations separated for one offering be unfit for sacrifice with another offering? Rabbi Yanai says the court tacitly stipulates concerning the libations that if they were required for the offering for which they were separated, they were required and are brought with that offering. But if not, for example, if the offering was disqualified, they should be brought with another offering. The Gemara asks, if that is so, then shouldn't it be that the court tacitly stipulates concerning the oil as well? The Gemara responds, the oil is part of the meal offering itself and cannot be brought for the sake of another meal offering, whereas the libations merely accompany the offering and are not an integral part of it. The Gemara challenges, if it is so that the court tacitly stipulates concerning the libations, then let the court tacitly stipulate concerning them that if the offering they are meant to accompany is disqualified, they shall emerge to non-sacred status altogether. The Gemara responds, it is a rabbinic decree that the court does not tacitly make this stipulation, lest people who are unaware of such a stipulation see that an item that was previously sanctified has become non-sacred, and they will mistakenly say one may remove sanctified items from service vessels to become non-sacred. Hashta nami gzeiro shema yoimeru lesochim shehifrishon leshum zevach ze kesherin leshum zevach acher. The Gemara objects if the sages did not tacitly make such a stipulation because they were concerned that people might mistakenly conclude that items that were already consecrated in service vessels can become non-sacred, then now as well, where the court tacitly stipulates that the libations should be sacrificed with another offering, let there be a rabbinic decree against such a stipulation, lest people say libations that one separated for the sake of one offering are fit for the sake of a different offering. Ab initio Hasani Matitya ben Yehuda Kegon shehaya zevach zavuch beoisa sho'o. The Gemara responds, Matitya ben Yehuda teaches that the Mishnah is referring specifically to a case where there was another offering that was slaughtered at the same time. In such a case, there is no concern that people will reach this mistaken conclusion, as one who sees that the libations are sacrificed immediately with the other offering will simply assume that they were separated for the sake of that offering from the outset. Aval ein zevach zavuch poisu shomai nisa belino aditoni sefa imlav yipaslu belino liflog v'lisne v'dida. V'amer divai mamorim shehaya zevach zavuach poisu sho aval ein zevach zavuach poisu sho loi. The Gemara objects to this according to the explanation of Matitya ben Yehuda. It can be inferred from the Mishnah that if there is another offering that was slaughtered at the same time, then the libations are sacrificed with that offering. But if there is not another offering that was slaughtered at the same time, then what should be done with the libations? They should be disqualified by being left overnight. If so, rather than teaching in the latter clause of the Mishnah, and if there is not another offering that requires libations, they should be disqualified by being left overnight. Let the Tana distinguish and teach the distinction within the case itself as follows. In what case is this statement said? It is said in a case where there was another offering that was slaughtered at the same time. But if there is not another that offering that was slaughtered at the same time, the libations are not sacrificed with another offering. Okay? The Gemara responds, that is also what the Tana of the Mishnah is saying. In what case is the statement said? It is said in a case where there was another offering that was slaughtered at the same time. But if there is not another offering that was slaughtered at the same time, the libations are immediately considered as if they were disqualified by being left overnight, and they are disqualified. The Gemara explained above that the Mishnah is also in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Elazar, son of Rabbi Shimon, and that he holds in accordance with the opinion of his father, that any blood that stands fit to be sprinkled is considered as if it had been sprinkled. The Gemara also explained that the Mishnah allows for the sacrifice of the libations with another offering because the court tacitly stipulates that the libation should be brought with another offering if the first offering becomes disqualified. In light of this, the Gemara asks, but does Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, meaning the father of Rabbi Elazar, accept the principle that the court tacitly stipulates concerning the libations? Amar Rabbi Idi bar Avin, Amar Rav Amram, Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Tmidim shlohu tzurchu letzibu, Divrei Rabbi Shimon, Ein nivdin temimim l'divrei chachamim nivdin temimin. But didn't Rav Idi bar Avin say that Rav Amram said, that Rav Yitzchak said, that Rav Yochanan said, with regard to animals that were designated as daily offerings, but that in the end were not needed for use by the public and have inherent sanctity, how shall they be redeemed? According to the statement of Rabbi Shimon, they may not be redeemed as long as they are unblemished, since they retain the status of offerings, but according to the statement of the rabbis, they may be redeemed even when they are unblemished, as the court initially stipulates that if they are not needed, they will not assume a status of an offering. Since Rabbi Shimon disagrees with the rabbis, it may be inferred that according to Rabbi Shimon, one does not say that the court tacitly stipulates concerning the offerings. Shani Hasam, Shani Hasam, Shani Hasam. Deis lehu takanta bereio. The Gemara responds that in general, Rabbi Shimon holds that the court stipulates concerning them. And it is different there in the case of the daily offerings because they have an alternative arrangement through which their total loss may be avoided, as they may be left in the field to graze until they develop a blemish, at which point they may be sold. Since there is no arrangement for the libations save for sacrificing them with another offering, even Rabbi Shimon holds that the court stipulates concerning them. That's Talmud, New Mishnah. Vlad toidu tomorrow so hifrish toidu v'hifrish acheres tachteho. Eina tu'uno lechem shenema v'kriv ha'zeh v'chatoidu tu'uno lechem v'lo vlada v'lo chilufa v'lo tumurata tu'unin lechem. With regard to the offspring of an animal designated as a thanks offering, or an animal that is its substitute, or in a case where one separated an animal as a thanks offering and it was lost and he separated another in its stead, and the first animal was then found. In all three cases, the second animal, meaning the offspring, the substitute, or the replacement, is sacrificed, but it does not require the bringing of accompanying loaves. And this is, as it is stated, if he sacrifices it for a thanks offering, then he shall sacrifice with the thanks offering unleavened cakes mingled with oil, and unleavened wafers spread with oil, and cakes mingled with oil of fine flour poached. Leviticus 7:12. The verse indicates that the initial thanks offering requires loaves, but neither its offering nor its replacement nor its substitute requires loaves. That's the Mishnah. Now the Talmud. Tanu Rabbanon. Wir haben gelernt dabei so. Tan Rabbanan, Mahu Oimer Toida Yakriv, Imal Toida Yakriv, Vinayla Frisha Toida of the Yishi Techeres, Avin Sesarashon Hare, Shitan Oim Dois Minyan, She'ezet Mehen, Shirzi Yakriv, Lachmaimo, Tabadomar, Toida Yakriv. The sages taught in Brighton. What is it that the verse teaches when it states he sacrifices for his thanks offering? The verse states, if he sacrifices for a thanks offering, from where is it derived? That with regard to one who separated an animal as his thanks offering, and it was lost, and he separated another in its stead, and the first animal was then found, and now they both stand fit to be sacrificed. From where is it derived that he may sacrifice whichever one of them he wishes, and its loaves are brought along with it? The verse states that he shall sacrifice the thanks offering, meaning as long as he sacrifices some thanks offering. To Lechem, to Talmud Loma, Yakrivenu, Echa Velushnaim, Acha Sheri Baka Suvumi Yed, Binain Rabois Vlodois, Chavachalipois, Utumurois Lakovo. Talmud Loma, Im Al Toida. Yachol Yehu, to Unos Lechem, Talmud Loma, Yakriv al Zevach Toido. Toida to Uno Lechem, Velo Velada, Velo Chilufa, Velo Temurasa. The writer continues, one might have thought that the second animal also requires loaves to be brought with it. Therefore, the verse states he sacrifices it, indicating that only one thanks offering requires loaves, but not two. Since the verse included the second animal as fit for sacrifice and excluded it from the requirement to bring loaves with it, from where it derives that the verse also includes the thanks offerings, offspring, replacements, and substitutes as fit for sacrifice. From the fact that the verse states, if for thanks offering, one might have thought that they would require loaves to be brought with them. Therefore, the verse states, and he shall sacrifice with the thanks offering, indicating that the initial thanks offering requires loaves, but neither its offering, nor its replacement, nor its substitute requires loaves. With regard to the offspring, substitute and replacement of a thanks offering, the Gemara relates, Rabbi Chanina sent a letter from Eretz Israel to the sages in Babylonia containing the following statement in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. The Mishnah taught that the offspring, replacement, and substitute do not require loaves only in the case where they were sacrificed after the owner achieved atonement, meaning when the initial thanks offering was already sacrificed with its loaves. But if they were sacrificed before he achieved atonement, they require loaves. Have Ba'rav Amram Aheya Ilema Achlife Toda Chova Ilifne Kapara Tanina Ilachat Kapara Tanina. Rav Amram discussed this halacha set in the name of Rabbi Yochanan and asked, to which halacha in the Mishnah is this referring? If we say that Rabbi Yochanan is referring to the replacement of obligatory thanks offering, then there is no novelty in his statement if his intention to teach. If his intention is to teach that where the thanks offering was found before the owner achieved atonement with its replacement, the replacement requires loaves. We already learned this in the Brayta, as it states, he may sacrifice whichever one of them he wishes, and if its loaves are brought along with it. And if his intention is to teach that when the thanks offering was found after the owner achieved atonement with a replacement, the thanks offering does not require loaves. This too was already learned in the Brayta, as it teaches that only the first offering requires loaves.